guys, welcome back to my channel, Stylish Hidden Treasures. My name is Mary and I'm a full-time reseller on both eBay and Poshmark. Today I'm bringing you a video to hopefully uplift and encourage all resellers, especially us women right now that are business owners, that you are not a failure while your business may be failing. And let me explain that. I watched one of my favorite YouTube channels, Jen Deals, so definitely check out her channel. I will link her below. She made some really good points a few days ago. I was already going to make this video, and then when she made hers, it kind of resonated with me like you would not believe. And she said, I'm failing at my business, or something to that extent. And she had me really thinking about, how I look at myself in my business right now, how a lot of resellers are looking at themselves, how a lot of resellers are literally getting out of the biz altogether. Like, you can look at the Facebook groups, there are people offloading their inventory. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the people that are on Whatnot right now are simply doing that, just getting rid of things. Because a lot of people are going back to a 9-to-5. And so I want to first make the comment that you are not failing as a business owner if your business is failing. And I know some people may, especially the naysayers, will disagree with me. Let me explain. So after she made her video, and my heart went out, like seriously, to her, because I know what she's feeling. I have felt the same. Many of us are not making these videos because maybe the views are not going to be high. Maybe it's not something exciting or encouraging, or look at how much money I made, or look at what I found. Those are the videos that get the highest views because they make the viewer feel great and excited. And, just like the unboxing video that I'm about to do after this one, it's fun, right? But the truth of the matter is, with full transparency, is it's hard right now. Very hard to keep your business open, your doors open, to resell and essentially sell anything right now because of the way the economy is, and so many different things. And I know there are people on YouTube that will say that that is an excuse, or, oh, my sales are great. And like, no, the majority of us, our sales are sucking. And it's been an ongoing roller coaster, honestly, from my viewpoint is since COVID started. It's been all over the place. We've had exciting months. We've had pitful months that are like in the pits when it comes to sales. And then we've had this roller coaster of, it's okay, it's low, it's horrible, it's okay, it's low, it's horrible. And this has been going on, I feel like, for about 3.5 years now. And from somebody as a reseller that has been on eBay, for an example, for coming up on 12 years, it has never been this way before. So yeah, something's different. Even though some people will tell you the economy is fine and everything is fine. No, dude, it's not. It is not. And our sales are showing that. So point and purpose of this video is to give you some tips on how to save your business. Now, I am not a financial expert. I do not have all the answers, but this is what I'm doing that is, I think, working for me. And so I thought I would take the time to make this video to hopefully, like I said, encourage people to keep staying in the game, keep working hard, keep hustling, keep your doors open as long as you can. And hopefully they stay open, right? That's the goal. But if you feel like it's your time, you need to go back to a job full time, which, trust me, I've considered that. If you need to go part-time, which I may even do that when school comes back in session for all the kids. There's a lot of different things. We have options, right? But I don't want you to lose your business if there's a way that you can potentially do some things different. And that's one thing that I have learned with the way things have been going since COVID is we are constantly trying to figure out what is going to work, right? We are dropping our prices. We are sourcing a certain amount of things. We're going to multiple platforms. We're doing live shows. We're doing all these many different things to try to find a way to make money. So I figured, why not make a video on some of the things that I did when I took a step back and looked at the health of my business, which is something you need to do. You need to stop trying to figure out what exactly is the right answer and look at what you have in front of you for just a moment, and then you can go back to that. So part of looking at the health of your business, look at your profit and loss. Now, everyone that's a reseller should have bookkeeping, unless you're just, a hobby seller. Maybe you have a spreadsheet, and even then you should be looking at that. Look at how much money is coming in every month, how much money is going out. Then from that, start to micro look at things like, okay, what is the biggest part that's going out? And that's what I did when I was looking at my sales and how they were, sucking really bad. Let's just say it like it is. So I looked at my cost of goods. I was spending quite a bit at the Goodwill outlet, which I mixed that with 3 different reasons. Number one, as resellers, that's one of the things that we are most excited about is sourcing, right? Number 2, for me, it is like a breath of fresh air to go where I'm around other resellers, around other like-minded people. And I honestly look at it sometimes like a mental health day, like to bring me back into reality of other people that are doing the same thing, that are sourcing similar things, to feel like I'm still part of a community, if that makes sense. Reselling can be very lonely as we are at home usually by ourselves. We are not physically around coworkers and people like that. And it's nice to be able to be around people that are doing the same thing, right? Just even if it's for a little bit. So I looked at it as that. And then I also looked at it as sourcing when things are good, like the sourcing is good, when there will be times where the sourcing will be bad, or in the winter time where, weather is horrible and you can't get out and source. Well, you already have that. So I looked at my sourcing as many different reasons, but then I also looked at the numbers and realized, yes, you're spending a lot too much, and for no reason, considering sales are low. So I'll get further into that in a minute. Another thing you need to look at is the overhead cost, things that you have to pay regardless if you make a sale or not. And for me, my highest overhead cost is where I store my inventory. Like the storage facilities that I have, I'm paying like almost $500 a month, and I had to do something about that. So I will get into that as well. Then you need to look at the extras. Like, what do you put into your business that's extra? Maybe you buy a little fun poly mailers that, quite frankly, get expensive. Maybe you are using a virtual assistant, which you don't technically need to do, but it makes it easier for you, so you're paying that cost. Maybe you have a higher store subscription fee on eBay that you really don't need to have because you're nowhere near the max of listings. Maybe you can lower that. So you need to look at your overhead costs, things that it seems like you have to pay in order to run your business, and see if there's a way to cut costs. So what did I do? So, like I mentioned before, on another video, I think actually, if I didn't, then I definitely mentioned it in a comment on someone else's video. I worked in healthcare. I worked in nursing since I was 16. I am 44 now. I worked in healthcare for almost 30 years. In the last 10 years of that, I worked in the federal government in healthcare. So I have a stable, career, or had one. Let's put it that way, had one. I also have a degree in HR. I also have a certificate like in teaching. So there are things that I can do, God forbid, if this business goes even more into the dumps. I can go back part-time. I can go back full-time if I have to, and change this to part-time, which I do not want to do. But I can if I need to. Okay, so I have options, and that's another thing you need to consider is, do you have options? What can you do as a backup plan if you need to work somewhere to kind of funnel a little bit of that money back into your business to keep it alive. So the first thing I did is I looked at the highest cost of good, which was my storage facility. This was a big monster. So this is the thing. Back when I first started on eBay, at that time, there was a mindset having a big store that had a lot of listings. What was the other thing that they would say? Make sure you have plus size, make sure you have new with tag, even if you buy a lot of used things, so that you have a variety of people coming to your store. They may potentially stay in your store longer, may buy more, or there's more of a variety for them in having a big store. And so at that time, it was a mindset that if you had a big store and you had 100% feedback and you were pumping out sales, you were doing something, right? Not so much, I don't know so much now, because now what happens is when you have slow sales and you have all this inventory, you have to have somewhere to put it, right? You got to have somewhere to put it. Plus, I also had the mindset that it's nice to have a little bit extra for a rainy day. Well, my little bit turned into a lot of extra. And then you have all that inventory that needs to be listed too. So fast forward, I had 2 10 by 25 storage facilities, which will fit a van in, storage shelves on both sides and in the middle, stacked all the way high in bins. A lot of stuff, all organized for the most part, 98% organized, but a lot of stuff. So when I realized how much I was spending in storage costs with the way sales are, I was like, I have to find a way to save money. So what I did, which was such a monster, is I ended the one contract and I moved everything into the first storage unit that I had. And I had to figure out what was crap that I should have never, bought in the first place. What could I move to my home office? What could I maybe offload in some type of way, either through Jamble or whatnot or whatever, sell it quick. And how to organize all of that inventory. So I got all of that done. It is a little cramped, but I'm saving money. So with me making that change, I'm saving $260 a month just from that. So instead of paying almost $500 a month, I'm paying half of that, which is an awesome savings. Then I looked at my business inventory, my business insurance, which is something you should have if your stuff's in a storage facility. Mine is in a climate controlled, there's security cameras everywhere. However, there could be a flood or tornado, you name it, and all your stuff's wiped out. You should have insurance. So I looked at my insurance policy next. I've never had a claim, but yet I was paying well over $100 a month. I have excellent credit, so it's not like a credit issue or none of that. And I was like, I'm paying an awful lot for a lot of used stuff, right? And so I talked to my agent and I was able to cut that in half and still have substantial amount of coverage for if anything, God forbid, happens. So with that, cutting that, I have a deduction of $62 now. So instead of paying over $100, I pay $62 less. So that is awesome. Then I looked at my cost of goods, which is something everybody should do. At the Goodwill, I am not buying anywhere near as much as I used to buy, but still when I go, I used to get a cart full, which was part of my problem with the storage, right? Which I'm not doing. But I was paying approximately $70 a week, which is like what? $280, almost $300 a month. And I was buying all of these thread up boxes. Now, the little, the scrap fabric boxes I've been getting, you're all in at about 35 bucks. That's not that bad. But when you're buying the purse ones, which I think were like $100 or $120, and you buy 2 or 3 boxes in a month, that's $300 plus the Goodwill $300. You're at $600 and something just for stuff that you really don't need, right? Now, if you have no inventory to source, well, that's different. If you have a whole shelf, like a storage shelf full of stuff, I don't know, 200 or 300 things, you probably don't need to be sourcing anymore. And so that's how I had to look at, I just don't need to be there at the Goodwill like that. So what I decided is if I make a decent month, one time in a month, One time I will go to the Goodwill outlet. Maybe if sales are okay, I'll get 1 or 2 scrap fabric boxes. So I will be all in at no more than $100 a month, not like $600 a month, right? So that's a big change. So with that, I'm saving $480 approximately a month by not doing that. Then I looked at my subscriptions. So many of us have Closet Tools, or you'll have something, a version, which, let's just say it like it is, it's a bot, okay? It's a bot for Poshmark, and it sends offers, it follows people, it shares your stuff to parties, all that kind of stuff. Well, I just can't get rid of that because I kind of need that in order to make the sales on Poshmark, so I couldn't get rid of that. I looked at my bookkeeping, which I pay like 35 or 30 bucks a month. But in looking at it, actually taking a look at it, I realized they've been overcharging me for the last 7 months. So I had to get them to credit all that money back, but that's all I'm paying for bookkeeping. I can't really get much lower without me having to do all the math, and your girl's not good at math. So $30, that's fine. But in looking at that, I was able to save money because they were overcharging me, double actually. Then I looked at my ink printer subscription that I have with HP. I'm only paying like 13 bucks a month, and I thought, well, do I even really need to pay that? Yeah, I kind of do, because then when you look at the cost of what a cartridge is, it's like 80 bucks. So yeah, I should keep that. Then I looked at my eBay store subscription. I'm still at the lowest that I need to be. I have, I think, the premium store, where I think, is that what it's called, where you pay like $60 a month. I can't get any lower than that because of the amount of listings I have. But check that out, because maybe you should upgrade, or maybe you should downgrade from where you're at. I saw a lady in one of the Facebook groups, and she was paying for like an anchor store, but only had like 3,000 listings. I'm like, why are you paying all that money when you could literally be paying for a premium store? So I don't know, but things like that, you need to kind of assess and realize that, hey, maybe you could save money. Next thing I looked at was supplies. Like, we as resellers go through a lot of bubble wrap, poly bags, thank you stickers, packing, boxes, tape, you name it, right? So I'm recycling as much as I can recycle on things. Every time somebody gets something from Amazon or wherever, I'm taking that box. Anytime that I can use my business credit card's points to buy an Amazon or an eBay card or an Office Max supply store or something like that, I then take that card and then buy my supplies. So then I'm not really out of money, if that makes sense. So doing little things like that will also definitely save you money. So then when it was all said and done, and I went through all of my stuff, this is just on expenses, I am saving almost $884 a month that I was paying out. So how does this help you when it comes to slow sales? Well, that's $800 and something more in your pocket. So you can look at it as $800 and something more in sales, or you can look at it as $800 and something less in bills. However way you look at it, you're saving money, and in the end, that will help you when it comes to saving your business. Any way you can cut costs and get more profit on the back end, or however way you want to look at it, that's smart. So then after I did that, obviously I had my finances under control when it came to business, and I looked through everything to make sure there was no other ways I could save money. So I did good, right? So then I looked at, okay, have I revisited all the little bitty things? Like, for example, if you go on eBay right now and you say, what can I do with slow sales, or tips and tricks for slow sales, you'll get all these people that will pretty much say the same thing for the most part. They'll say you need to send offers, you can send coupons. Sometimes you can put those coupons, you can print them out and put them in your packages when someone buys something, and then entice them to come back to your store and buy more. That's a smart thing that I've done before. If you haven't already, create a sale. Create a sale, because it gives people kind of like the, what's the word? I can't think of it now, but you know, it tricks people's minds into thinking they're getting something a lot cheaper than they should. So even like if you go down to the mall and there's a 75% off sale, they may have technically marked those things up to then bring it down like Kohl's does for sales. However, it gives the consumer the idea they're really saving some money. So you want to create a great sale that's really going to draw people in. So if you haven't already, create a sale. And I know people are thinking, well, my prices are already good. Why could I or should I even create a sale, right? Well, eBay has the tool where you can literally edit a group of listings and you can increase those prices by whatever percentage you want, which is essentially the same thing Kohl's does. So increase your prices up 30% and then run a 30% sale and then you're right back where you were. But it gives people the illusion that they are really getting an awesome deal from you in your store. And you want to kind of entice people right now. So if you haven't already, definitely do that. Definitely end and sell similar every so often. I would not ever advise you to do all your listings at one time. You can actually screw up the algorithm a little bit in your store. But maybe say 100 listings a day. In those, sell similar, give you some fresh listings because it essentially gives you a fresh item number on those listings. So it comes up higher in search. So definitely do that to your store. Keep listing, even though I know you don't feel like it, keep listing 10, 15, 20, whatever number, at least that per day. You still want to keep your store alive even in summer slowdown. You'll want to get some sales, so definitely still do that. Take reasonable offers. Sometimes you have to suck your pride, y'all. Like, I can't tell you how many times this week I have cringed at some of the offers I got because I knew that item was worth so much more than what they was offering, but it kept the money flow going, y'all. And if you go to the bins or you get something for free, that's almost pure profit in many cases. So definitely take a reasonable offer just to keep that money going. On Poshmark, of course, you know, like if you have a bot or something like that, I have closet tools, so it sends out offers within 8 seconds of someone liking something. Still do that. I mean, still send out offers, maybe 20% off, $5.95 shipping, or some type of discount. You can always end some of your listings, copy it, make new listings, bring those up in search. You can use the My Shoppers option where you can bulk send offers to people that have bundled, people that are past buyers, people that have liked your items. You can do that in like thousands at a time. I would advise doing that on your desktop because your iPad and your Chromebook and your phone just doesn't really like that. But send out as much as you can. You usually will see some type of traffic from that. I mean, when all else fails, do a show. Like, go on Jamble, where I've made that video where, I mean, Jamble is 100% free when it comes to selling fees right now. So if you have a bunch of stuff like I did on a few shows where I just needed to get rid of it, I didn't want to take it back to the Goodwill, just give me $5 for it. Maybe that's what you need to do sometimes. Just to kind of move some inventory and create some space. And then when all else fails, look at your home bills. I know this is not a business thing. Like I said, I am not a financial expert, but this is some real talk. Like, look at your home bills. Like, for people that eat out all the time, like, God bless you. I don't know how you do it, especially if you have a family, because it is expensive to eat out, especially now. Go to the grocery store. Like, make your food at home and you will save a ton of money. We all love our Starbucks coffee, y'all, but if by the time you buy a big can of coffee and have your coffee at home and then go up and do your listings, you will save money quite a bit if you get a coffee from Starbucks every day of the week. I mean, the point I'm trying to say is the little things that when money is flowing like honey and there are beautiful rainbows in the sky and sales are awesome, well, then we can do that and splurge on things like, you know, all these extras that if you've really looked at your credit card statement in a month or your bank statement, you see all the crap that you bought that you didn't really need, or food you really didn't need, or stuff you didn't really need. Well, when you're looking at sales being low, if you can kind of crunch that down a bit, you can save a lot of money. So even if you don't make the money you need on the front end with sales, if you're saving the money on the back end with bills and extras and things you don't really need that are frivolous, but they're nice, save that for when sales are good. And you will be surprised how much money you have saved. So when I did that, the month of May, I saved almost $2,000. So that's like $2,000 more in sales, if you look at it that way, by saving on many, many different things. So bottom line is, you are not a failure. You are not a failure. Your business may feel like it's failing. We all feel that way right now, but you do have tools that you can use to hopefully fix that. You know, stay motivated, stay connected, even on like YouTube and stuff, guys, because I think it helps. Like I said before, when we're kind of in this business where we're by ourselves, we don't really have anybody really to talk to. Our spouses and our friends and stuff, unless they're in the reselling business, they don't really understand, right? They just don't get it. I mean, they're smart people, but they just don't get it because they're not in the business. So us collectively understand what we're going through, you know, from being a business owner, from being people that were very successful at, you know, some of us were making six figures multiple years, and nowhere near that now, like nowhere near that, you know. And so I get it. And I think what is most helpful is when we can go on YouTube and we can find some little tips and tricks from other resellers going through the same thing as us. And even if a lot of what I said you already know, but maybe you hadn't thought about it for a while, or there was something small in what I said that will help you in your business and keep it afloat, then I've done my job. And I am really hoping that I help someone out there, because I think these type of videos need to be playing a lot more right now. As fun and exciting it is to see these unboxings and these hauls and all this stuff, I think we need to be very transparent and real with each other and say, hey, we are all in this together. We can all help each other if we can just find ways to, I guess I want to say, just find ways to keep what we worked so hard for going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments below if there's like a little trick or a little thing that you've been doing, or something you found that has helped save your business or is helping with these slow sales, that you could share with all of us. What I hope in this video is that everyone will comment and just say something small. Hey, had you thought about this? Or this is what I did and this helped because of that. And then that way we can kind of pass all the love around. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my thread up mystery scrap fabric unboxing, which is sitting right there. That video is about to air next. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.